The Body Shop connects you with the hottest fitness models in the world. Learn the backstage secrets that most successful bikini divas, fitness models, and bodybuilders use to dominate their competition and land on the covers of magazines. Only here at the Body Shop will we allow you to listen and talk to the best of the best in fitness competition. If you're passionate about bodybuilding and fitness, you have found your new home. All of us here at FTNS Radio would like to welcome you to the Body Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your host, Andre Brick St. Clair.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Body Shop. Thank you for allowing the Body Shop and FTNS not only into your homes, but into your airwaves. Only here on the Body Shop will you meet celebrities. Talk to your favorite celebrities. You can reach out, you can email me, and I'm going to talk to them for you. Also, you will find out the backstage secrets that the most successful bikini divas, bodybuilders, and champions from all around the globe use to land on the covers of magazine and totally dominate their competitions. In the studio with me, I have the chairman, I have the president of FitnessAtlanta.com, Mr. Brian Canone.
What's up, Bricks?
What's up, B? How you doing today?
How you doing?
I'm sore as hell.
Sore?
Yeah, I'm sore, man.
Come on.
Oh, hey, listen, Bricks get sore. You know what I mean? Listen, it's tough. All right? I'm in the gym.
Bricks.
Everybody knows this. Right? It's tough being the Bricks. I'm in the gym, right? I'm doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
You know, some little young boy, little skinny cat, probably about 140 pounds, soaking wet, comes up. So he wants to do pull-ups with me.
Yeah.
I said, no problem. Let's go.
What do? You put them on your back and do pull-ups?
I have done that. Okay, I'm actually going to post that on YouTube, all right? Because through no fault of my own.
So what, he wants to bench press, so you bench press him?
Nah, nobody wants to bench press with Bricks.
He wants to do squats, so you put him on your back? That's how you do it?
See what? You're a very selfish individual, okay? You're making fun of something that I do, all right? Nobody really wants to tangle with the Bricks. However, in the interest of fairness, I did have a competition.
And you backed down.
I did not back down. I was getting my motorcycle fix, and I missed the competition, all right? But if the challenger is willing to give the Bricks another shot.
Come on,
hell. If the challenger is willing to give the Bricks another shot, I'll be more than happy to be there. So, I do have the challenger on the line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome back to the Body Shop one of the few men that was actually brave enough and damn near, I'll say it, strong enough to challenge me to any type of competition. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Horton. Tony!
Hello, boys. Now, let me get something perfectly clear.
Talk to me, Tony.
I believe there was a certain Bricks who didn't show up. Let's let your audience know what happened.
Okay.
I was there.
You was there.
You were nowhere.
I was nowhere. I admitted that. I was in the process of getting my motorcycle fixed. They told me it was going to take 20 minutes, and they lied to me.
I was blowing up your phone.
You was blowing up my phone, and I told you, I said, Brian, I'm getting my motorcycle fixed. Tell Tony I'm on my way. And Tony, Brian never did that. He stood in Trumbull High School.
Because I didn't believe you for what? Get your motorcycle. Get in your car and come down.
I was already at the motorcycle shop. I was stuck. There was no way. So I'm like, listen, tell Tony I'm on my way. And I know Brian. He stood there at Trumbull High School.
Laughing.
When Tony Horton does what he does, and that's reach out to the community, give back. He was there at his old alma mater, Trumbull High School, and Brian threw Bricks completely under the bus. So I appreciate that.
He left you the best message.
The dog ate my motorcycle. Line. Classic.
He was doing push-ups, just called your name. Bricks.
That is funny.
I think you boys should know that, I was at Travis Air Force Base, and I was looking at the schedule, and sometimes, I let my people kind of guide me so I don't wander off into the woods. On the schedule, there was something called the Tony Horton PT Challenge.
PT Challenge.
The PT Challenge. And, I thought it was going to be me timing the young cadets or motivating people. No, they were going to make me do the PT Challenge. And, of course, I didn't discover that until about 18 seconds before I actually did the PT Challenge. And so an Air Force PT Challenge is maximum push-ups in 1 minute. And they got to be clean. They got to be good, or they don't count them. And then maximum crunches in a minute, and the fastest mile and a half you can run.
Ooh.
So I don't know about you, Bricks, but I did 87 push-ups in a minute, and I beat everybody. So.
You beat everybody.
Yeah, I want. If you and I do that, we could do push-ups or pull-ups because you will fail.
Wow. Wow.
Bench pressing, you're gonna beat me, man. you're gonna beat me. But when it comes to body weight stuff,
Yep.
You're a dead man.
Dead man, huh? I'm liking the way this is going. I'm loving it. I tell you what, challenge accepted.
All right. Hey, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Start working on your motorcycle now.
Don't worry. There'll be no more personal phone calls from Tony Horton leaving me voicemail messages saying, loser, quitter. There'll be no more of that.
Nope. You only get away with that one time.
One time, huh? All right. I'm liking where that's going. One time. All right. So, as we're recapping the events that did not take place in September, let's continue on with a recap. Tony, 2011, you came down to the Oakdale Theater. You put on an amazing workout where you had, I believe it was over 343 people actually sign up to work out with you at the Oakdale Theater, and I think we had to turn away close to 100 more because there was just no more space to fit everybody into the dome at the Oakdale Theater.
Yeah, and I got to say, it's always a bummer when you got to turn people away.
Absolutely.
We did what we could based on what we thought, based on early numbers, but typically what people end up doing is they figure, I'll be okay, I'll sign up last minute, and when you do that, when you wait too long, then you miss out. So we're smart this time when I come back. We're going to have 2 workouts instead of 1. We'll have, that way we can accommodate twice as many people.
Okay.
That was a smart call.
Yeah. All right. Now, I don't know if this is the largest crowd last year that you've actually put on the workout for, but what was it like when you walked into the Oakdale Theater and you saw all those people just waiting there for you?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting because what you're walking into, typically in a situation, especially when we were at Oakdale, is you've got a bunch of people who get it. You know what I mean? They've bought my products. They've done 2 or 3 rounds of P90X. They're talking about P90X2. When is that coming out? They've got your book, or they've just bought it. They can't wait to read it, and they want you to sign it. Mm-hmm. And so it's really fun because the level of enthusiasm is through the roof. Now I've been to some corporate gigs, where you go and people have heard of me. They've seen me on television, but maybe they don't recognize me or exercise regularly. So it's a little bit more muted in the room, and then you get halfway through the workout and they just want to throw their shoe at your face. Unlike the crew at Oakdale Theater, different story. So I just love it because I feel like I'm hanging out with friends. I feel like I'm hanging out with like-minded people who are fired up, who have changed their lives, who get it. They're not using processed food made in a factory so they can lose weight.
Right.
In the future, they've made that mistake in the past, but they're over it. Now they understand that you got to work out, regularly, and you got to eat healthy food, and that's who they are now. And now they're disciples, like I was 25 years ago, and we're just paying it forward. And so you're hanging out with those kinds of folks. You can't beat it.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about the book because I believe Brian had a booth where they were selling your book. How did you come up with the concept for the book, and is the book still available now?
Yeah, you can still go to beachbody.com or p90x.com. There's always a link. You can always find it. And you can find it on amazon.com, easy way to find it, or rodale.com. Bunch of ways to find the book. Rodale is my publisher, and the book is called Bring It. And the book came about because the success of P90X was awesome, and we've sold close to 4 million.
Wow.
And we also have 10-Minute Trainer. So 10-Minute Trainer is on the other end of the spectrum as far as length of workouts. I mean, P90X workouts are about an hour. That yoga is an hour and a half. Most guys skip it. I hate them for it. Including you, Bricks. I want to have a freaking hatha yoga off for an hour and a half and see who collapses halfway through reverse warrior. You know.
I'll tell you what. We'll get into reverse warrior.
I think we're going to start off with a crane contest. All right. Guy who holds crane the longest, because I could pretty much go into a coma in crane.
Oh wow!
And I know you're going to be shaking like a leaf.
I probably might be, but as far as yoga, now Bricks can't do yoga, Tony. Nah, I'm not even going to try that. I know my limitations.
Yeah, that yoga though is the fountain of youth. That's the reason why I can jump off of cliffs on skis and do backflips and climb 25-foot ropes, and continue to work out day in and day out without getting hurt.
Right.
But I wrote the book because I understand that there are different people from different cultures that are different ages, that have different ranges of motion. Some are working out at altitude. Some are working out at sea level. Some people have different pain thresholds. Some people love working out, get the whole thing about exercise. Other people are brand new, So there's so many one-size-fits-all books out there. You got some famous cat who wants you to eat vegan and stand on your head for 45 minutes. Okay, yeah, he'll sell that book to 13 people. What I'm trying to do is say, look, here's an extreme version of a diet and exercise if you really want to get super fit and you want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Here's a modified version if you're somewhere in between, beginners and warriors. And there's also the beginners thing. You take a little fitness test at the beginning of the book. It's a Q&A thing. It's very funny, and it'll guide you in one of three directions: strivers, beginners, or warriors. And you pick which one, and you do those workouts. And there's a lot of anecdotes in there, a lot of my philosophy, a lot of my motivation, inspiration, things like that. It's just basic health and fitness philosophy. It's not complicated. It's not terribly scientific. But it's just common sense fitness. It's the stuff that works for everybody. And then if you take the test and you go, you know what, I'm a beginner. I can't work out for 45 minutes.
Right.
Way. So there's 15 and 20-minute workouts in there for you. And there's not dramatic change when it comes to the diet, but there's modification. Just cut out maybe some of your dairy and maybe a lot of the processed meats and fast foods that you're eating, and just start to eat more fruits and vegetables. Just start people out. And the warriors, those workouts are tough, and the diet is super clean, and so there's something for everybody.
Okay. Some of your live events that you've done, you touched on one of them, and that is when you go out there and you put on the workouts for the military. What kind of reception do you get from that?
It's amazing. We just got back from our third tour. The Department of Defense works with an organization within the military called Armed Forces Entertainment, and they're like the USO but different. There's more than one. And I just got hooked up with the AFE, and our first tour was in Italy, and it was amazing. And just 3 bases in Italy just to see if people would hate me or love me. And it turns out they love me.
They love you.
They love me. And,
right on.
For what reason I don't know, because I bring such pain to their lives.
Right.
But I bring common sense and I bring humor. The reason why P90X is successful and the reason why the Department of Defense likes me is because I deliver the message in a way that doesn't feel like it's a nightmare. Make it fun, I make it easy. Not easy, but I make it fun.
Right.
And so we were in Italy, and then our next one was in Japan, and we went to 9 bases in Japan. We started in Okinawa and moved our way all the way up past Tokyo in northern Japan. And actually, that was we finished 13 days before the earthquake struck. So
oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was pretty heavy,
Wow.
Met those people and seen those people, and then you see, photos and film of areas that you were in that were demolished. It's just, wow. That could have been us, because we were on those freeways and on those trains, and it was pretty heavy. But that was our second one, and our third one we just got back from Europe, and we were in England, we were in Kosovo, we were in the Netherlands, we were in Germany, and that was also a real blast. And they don't pay anything. People say, well, why do you go on these tours that last 2 weeks and they don't pay you anything? Because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They are so enthusiastic. They are so fired up. We were in Kosovo, okay? This is where only 15 years earlier there was ethnic cleansing going on. And this base is hardcore. When we were there, we were sleeping in containers, the ones they put on trains. And we're in a container, 2 bunks, 1 window, and to go to the bathroom, you got to open your door. It's 45 degrees. You got to walk outside on a path, and then walk into another container. It's pretty hardcore.
It's tough stuff, yeah.
Hardcore stuff. I mean, it's funny, when we showed up in Kosovo at this base, everybody has a submachine gun, strapped to their shoulder. Everybody has a loaded weapon on their hip, and that's how they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's how they walk the base. Because not far away, there's still snipers shooting at people. So,
right.
And that country is still in a rough way. I mean, when that 1 hour bus ride from the airport to the base is a jaw opener. I mean, you're just gobsmacked, man, just looking out the window going, oh my God, people live like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Broken down, smashed buildings with bullet holes in them and burnt out cars and open fires everywhere and not a flower, not a tree. Most of the roads are dirt. There's very few paved roads, and they actually steal the pavement from the roads and sell it. I mean, it's just bad. And we showed up at the base, and the folks at the military, the folks stationed at the base said, oh my God, you guys showed up. And we went, yeah. Why wouldn't we? Of course.
Like, you made it.
They find out about this place, and they don't come. And so they said in the 16 years the base has been there that the two hardcore butt-kicking workouts were the two most popular events they've had in 16 years.
Unbelievable.
I mean, they showed up for butt kickings. When they got bands, they can sit in an audience and drink a couple of beers and watch a band and do nothing and get a bad turnout, and we come in to kick their butt. So, I mean, why do you got to do that. You got to go. It's just too awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, you get a lot of people, as you stated, why do you do this if you're not getting paid, and why this and why that? And, a lot of people don't understand the concept of paying it forward, giving back, and doing the right thing. Like, you got the U.S. military defending your God-given rights, and somebody turns around and wonder, okay, how can I make money off of something that somebody is basically giving away for free? Really doesn't make sense. And speaking of giving away for free, Tony, can't have you give all of this away for free because I got to cut to commercial. So I'm going to need you to hold tight as I cut to commercial, and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
It's time for a fitness break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on FTNS.
It's here, the newest weapon in post-workout recovery nutrition. This natural and organic all-in-one formula delivers the ammunition your body needs to advance on your battlefield and beyond. Introducing Nutrition's Basic Training. Protein, branched-chain amino acids, vitamins, minerals, good fats, and enzymes with no artificial sugars, colors, or flavors. Go to www.amnutritionhealth.com and join the ranks of the supplement revolution. Beyond protein, the body's ammunition, Nutrition.
When looking for the world's best organic apple cider vinegar, there's only one that stands above all others. That's the original Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar. When it comes to your health, accept no imitations. Only Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar has the highest quality available. It's organic and kosher certified. It's unfiltered, rich in important polyphenol antioxidants. It's raw, not pasteurized, a live food. It contains the miracle mother of vinegar, rich in protein enzyme molecules highly regarded for their nutritional and health benefits. Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar is at your favorite health food stores or in grocery health sections. Learn more and see our video at braggacv.com. That's braggacv.com.
This is Dr. Patricia Bragg, health crusader to the world. You will love my Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar and other Bragg products.
Start the new year with a bang. The Subway Chipotle Chicken and Cheese, featured $5 footlong of January. Juicy chicken and melty cheese with a pop of Chipotle Southwest sauce for a creamy, smoky, subtly spicy, taste bud tingling flavor experience that's like fireworks for your taste buds. So hurry in, because this January only, the Chipotle Chicken and Cheese joins our many $5 footlongs. Subway, eat fresh.
Plus applicable tax, limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Additional charge for extras.
World's first fitness radio will keep you moving. FTNS. 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 FTNS.
Welcome back to FTNS, world's first fitness radio. Enjoy the show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Body Shop. I am your host, Bricks. My in-studio co-host is Mr. Brian Canone.
What's up, Bricks?
What's up, B? And on the line, ladies and gentlemen, I have Tony Horton. That's right. That's right. Tony, the real deal. Never mind about anything. I'll go to Kosovo, whoop your butt, come back and challenge Bricks in the competition. Horton is on the line on the Body Shop. Tony!
Hello, and hello.
Nice.
Tony, hey, it's Brian. It's great to talk to you again.
Brian, you too, man. I'm looking forward to our event coming up, man. I'm really thrilled. I can't wait to get on it again.
You know, I've
14th.
been crazy.
It's gonna be around the corner, man.
It really is. You know, it's like
3 months.
Yeah,
3 months.
Yeah, it's really coming up quick.
And I can't believe how quickly, people are buying tickets every day.
Yeah.
They're being smart this time because we had to turn folks away last time. But no, people are smart. They're saying, you know what, I'm going to get in there now. And that's a good thing because the neat thing about this event is not one but two workouts.
Right.
And we're going to have a Strivers workout and a Warrior workout. They're going to be a little bit different. And the cool thing is the two workouts are the first time folks have seen these. I'm actually doing two workouts specifically for the Oakdale Theater and nowhere else, never to be seen again. Once they're done, I'm going to scramble them up and throw them out and shred
That's
them.
it. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. One time only, ladies and gentlemen. Come on down to the Oakdale Theater.
Now, these two workouts that you have, one is called the Striver, and that's the first workout, and the second workout is called the Warrior. And some people have been emailing me and asking questions. What's the difference between these two?
Well, the Striver is a routine for folks who maybe aren't ripped and ready and crazy and mad. It's not to say it's going to be easy. It's not like we're just going to sit there in shavasana for an hour. We're gonna still work hard. We're still going to work the entire body, and there's going to be modifications. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, and when it comes to intensity, the Striver workout can be made as hard as an 8. And as mellow as maybe a 4, but everybody's going to be moving and grooving, and there's going to be a little yoga component to that, but not a lot, just enough, but it's going to be a really interesting mix of things that people haven't seen. I'm going to introduce some Egoscue, and if you don't know what Egoscue is, I can, in 10 seconds or less, it's basically body alignment movements, and it really gets the body lined up. It's working on the joints and the tendons and things that we sometimes ignore. And we start with that. We do a little bit of plyo, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of resistance. We're going to hit the core. We're going to do the legs. We're going to raise the heart rate. It's kind of a mixed bag. And the Warrior workout is going to be kind of full tilt. We're going to we're going to jump, and we're going to do push-ups, sidearm balance crunch, and we're going to do super burpees. And we're going to go at it pretty good. But even with that said, even in the Warrior workout, I'm going to show you 3 versions of every exercise. So you can turn the Warrior workout into a Striver-like workout if you want. So, and the funny thing is, if you're a Warrior, you could come to the Strivers workout and still get an awesome workout. And apparently a lot of folks are signing up for both.
Right, yeah. You know what? We're comparing the numbers of people signed up for both, and they're neck and neck.
They're neck and neck.
Really are.
Right.
Now, what are we looking at so far? Because me and you really haven't sat down and went over the ticket sales for both events. So where are we at with the Striver? Where are we at with the Warrior as far as sales go?
We are between 10 and 15 tickets apart.
Wow.
Between the two.
10 and 15 tickets apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's amazing. More and more people are discovering something pretty wild that I don't even think a lot of us even knew about a few years back. I was just the not the race marshal, but I warmed up a bunch of folks for the Walt Disney World Marathon and Half Marathon.
How many people were there?
I was standing there in front of 23,000.
Oh my God!
That's a pretty, Rick, you were asking me what's the most I've ever done. I mean, I've done 1,500 prior to that, which is that's a lot of folks. Actually, no, I actually did one close to 3,400 folks, which is a lot of people.
Wow!
But 23,000. I could not see. It was a sea of bodies in a huge parking lot. I couldn't see the back part of the folks. Also, it was at 4 o'clock in the morning, so it was hard to see. It was really fun because we're doing moves. Of course it's Disney World, and you want to try to incorporate the Disney characters. So we're doing this move where everybody reach up like the wave, and everybody's going Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy. You know what I mean? So it was a real trip, man. But these folks were running a half marathon and a marathon back to back. And if you ran the half marathon, you get a really beautiful medal of Donald Duck. And if you run the marathon, you get a little Mickey Mouse. And if you run both, you get this Goofy medal, which is, you know, it's awesome. And the next day, anybody that ran any of the races get to go on all the rides for free. It's
nice.
Prestigious. These medals are stunning. I mean, they're well crafted. They're beautiful. And so, I mean, I think a total of 50,000 people show up for one or both of the races. It's
wow.
amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, this year we'll get 600 at the Oakdale Theater, and then we're going to have to go to Foxborough and do it in the at the Patriot Stadium for 80,000.
All right, Tony. Before I get to my next question, I got to give some shout-outs. One of them goes out to a good friend. He listens all the time, loves the show. He especially emailed me when I told him that I'm having you back on. That's Eric Rogers. I'm going to give a special shout-out to Paula Mile, Karina Fort. What is it like when you're, reaching the masses? And as you mentioned, 23,000. You've done a show for 1,500 with the Oakdale, in which Brian puts on. You've done 347, 345. But do people actually get it, or do you think they
I really liked how you brought that up at the beginning. You said, when you do an event and there's a camaraderie of everybody there who gets it, people who have purchased your products, know who you are, know what's coming up. I mean, watching it last year, they would just shout out your quotes and things that you say, And
I do that little stretch with the hands going backwards, and I don't have to say a word. No, all of a sudden, everybody's doing a pterodactyl backing out of the room impression. I mean, when I made the discs, when I did the workouts, keep in mind I've been in this business for 30 years.
Right.
So I'm pretty comfortable. I'm pretty relaxed in front of a large group of folks. I'm probably more comfortable in front of a camera and a teleprompter than I am, at a dinner party. It's just that, I understand intuitively, like deep down inside, that it's vital for me to be able to disseminate information in such a way that people get excited and they're having fun in the process. There's a great study a few years back, and it was called the Trends of the Millennium, and one of them was called infotainment, taking vital information that is critical for people to change their lives and delivering that information in such a rhetorical way that it's fun in the process, right? So I've taken exercise, which is a great big pain in the butt, 9 times out of 10, because a lot of trainers are taking on this drill sergeant routine, or they treat it like rocket science and they make it really complicated, or they belittle their clients, or they make it too complicated, or they're doing it in such a way that you feel like you can't keep up, or everybody else is perfect and you're not, and so you leave, you bail, you quit. You get bored, or you feel discouraged. And so I'm trying to do the opposite of that. I know that doesn't work, and so when you're trying to get to more people, you got to go, okay, here's what I'm going to show you. It's harder than hell, but I'm going to show you something a little bit easier, and I'm going to show you something even easier than that. And oh, by the way, if you want to take a break, take it. If you want to hit the pause button, do it. If you want to march in place because you're tired, that's okay. As opposed to somebody who goes, "Come on, you piece of crap! Let's get your knees up! You loser! If you're not throwing up, you're worthless! I want to see your lunch, you piece of Yeah, awesome! Yeah, let me be in your class and forget it. So that's all I do. I've taken exercise, which is a hard, jagged pill to swallow, and I've made it a little bit easier to deal with.
Well, I was just talking to Bricks before the show, and I was saying, you know what, there's the people, like you said, there's people that get it, and they just do what you say, and they get the results, and they have fun with it, but there's so many beginners, and I was wondering if you had any frustrations about some of the things, just getting through to people, and getting them to listen. So you kind of answered it just with what you just said there, and really thinking about these type of people and making it fun, because they are going to quit so fast. I've seen so many people in health clubs through the years that join, and then they're gone in 3 months. You just don't see them anymore.
You guys, this is what you do. This is your world. You're hanging around like-minded people. You get it. You know what I mean? And you're not necessarily doing P90X or P90X2 or any of my programs, but it's your lifestyle. I mean, you understand that regular exercise and healthy food makes for a better life.
Right.
It makes for not only longevity but improved quality of life. And so I don't know if that kicked in when you were a little kid or a teenager or in college or maybe later on in life. But you're right, Brian. There's a lot of folks that maybe are in their 30s or 40s that have never had a fit day in their life, been overweight their entire life. They're addicted to fat, sugar, and salt out of boxes, bottles, cans, and bags. They're eating factory food. Their taste buds are completely out of whack, and they have very low pain thresholds. So the thought of lifting a weight, is probably like dying in a car crash to them. Mm-hmm. And so you have to start small, and you need two things. If you're a beginner, you need two things. I'm going to make that three. Okay, here's a bonus one.
There's a bonus.
There's a bonus one. You need a plan.
Right.
You need to write down what you're going to do in advance. That's huge. You've got to know. You can't just wing it every day. If you wing it, you're going to fail. If you plan it, you'll succeed. And number two is you need a purpose that is vital to your essence on this earth. You need a purpose that is, I don't want to lose weight in the future so I can look good in a dress. Mm-hmm. That you got to, you'll make that mistake over and over again. Mm-hmm. Your purpose is, if I move today, my health, my fitness, my quality of life improves. I become less vulnerable to illnesses and injuries. I don't suffer from the same thing my parents and grandparents suffer from. I get to change my genetics based on my choices.
Right.
Boom! And you'll say to yourself, how do you feel after the workout compared to how you felt before? You always feel better. So never, ever, ever forget that feeling. And I know the process is a drag, and I know sometimes you don't feel strong, and sometimes you just feel weak as a chicken, but you show up, man. And last but not least is accountability. Who you hanging around? Who are your friends? If you've got nobody in your life that's exercising, and you got to get up at 5:30 in the morning and do an hour and a half yoga class, that's really hard. You know what I mean? So find some people who get, I don't care if it's phone calls or emails or through a chat room or live and in person.
Right.
Go hang out with people that are doing what you want to do, and there's a greater likelihood that you'll do it.
Well, that's the thing. You get in the gym, you find somebody that's you work out with. If you have a partner, or like Annie, Annie Kearns, she works out, with a group like the Fit Club. A lot of people do stuff like that. I was talking to the Bricks a little bit. We're talking about just some frustrations that could come about. Just people trying to get people to understand it. I saw you on 2 of the shows this year. The Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz. Yeah. They liked me so much they repeated me 2 more times. So apparently I did something right there.
You did a pretty simple workout on that one, don't you think? Like it was geared towards beginners on that show.
Yeah. I mean, you look at his audience, and during the break, I'd say, so how many folks here have P90X? Because a lot of these gals are older, and they've been doing Jane Fonda or something, or they get on the elliptical for 5 minutes, and they always hit me like, who are you?
Right.
And so you have to kind of gear. I remember when I was a comic, you have to know your audience. You don't do the sex jokes on the convalescent circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really not going to go over too well.
Yeah, you don't talk about your kids on the college circuit. So you got to know your audience. Right. So we had to modify it. We showed some basic moves. And the bummer about those types of shows, even when I was on live with
I was just going to bring that up. Right, live with Kelly. You did more moves. You did the Superman. You did Spider-Man, and a couple other things that were more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's so many chefs in the pot, right? They're like, well, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we do this? I make recommendations, and they pick something, and you're on air for 3.5 minutes.
Right.
So it's not like you even have enough time to tell them your name.
Yeah.
It's just they'll have people on because they're popular, or they have some obviously I have a certain notoriety and whatever, and so they have me on. Right. But ultimately, if you really want to be able to connect to people, you don't do it on shows like that. I mean, Dr. Oz, we had 23 minutes, so we really had more time to talk about what it took. We broke down the food thing. We showed how 10-minute workouts actually work.
Right.
But when it comes to actual moves, you got to come to a live event. I mean, honestly, you can watch all the TV shows in the world with me on them, but you're going to get 1,000% more if you come to the the Fitness Atlantic event.
Absolutely.
At the Oakdale Theater.
Right. Oakdale Theater. You make sure you mention that, Tony.
On April 14th.
There you go.
Don't get moved. 2 workouts. Stores open at 2 o'clock.
Come on and get there, baby. He's doing 2 workouts. This is the only time you heard it from the legend himself. Tony Horton is doing 2 workouts. Oakdale Theater. Don't you miss it, because once it's gone, it's gone. But speaking of being gone, we got to cut to commercial. We'll be back in a minute and a half. Everybody hang tight. Tony, I got an important question to ask you when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
It's time for a fitness break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on FTNS.
When looking for the world's best organic apple cider vinegar, there's only one that stands above all others. That's the original Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar. When it comes to your health, accept no imitations. Only Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar has the highest quality available. It's organic and kosher certified. It's unfiltered, rich in important polyphenol antioxidants. It's raw, not pasteurized, a live food. It contains the miracle mother of vinegar, rich in protein enzyme molecules highly regarded for their nutritional and health benefits. Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar is at your favorite health food stores or in grocery health sections. Learn more and see our video at braggacv.com. That's braggacv.com.
This is Dr. Patricia Bragg, health crusader to the world. You will love my Bragg Organic Apple Cider Vinegar and other Bragg products.
It's here, the newest weapon in post-workout recovery nutrition. This natural and organic all-in-one formula delivers the ammunition your body needs to advance on your battlefield and beyond. Introducing Nutrition's Basic Training. Protein, branched-chain amino acids, vitamins, minerals, good fats, and enzymes with no artificial sugars, colors, or flavors. Go to www.amnutritionhealth.com and join the ranks of the supplement revolution. Beyond protein, the body's ammunition. Nutrition.
Start the new year with a bang. The Subway Chipotle Chicken and Cheese, featured $5 footlong of January. Juicy chicken and melty cheese with a pop of Chipotle Southwest sauce for a creamy, smoky, subtly spicy, taste bud tingling flavor experience that's like fireworks for your taste buds. So hurry in, because this January only, the Chipotle Chicken and Cheese joins our many $5 footlongs. Subway, eat fresh.
Plus applicable tax, limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Additional charge for extras.
World's first fitness radio will keep you moving. FTNS. 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 FTNS.
Welcome back to FTNS, world's first fitness radio. Enjoy the show.
One 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009.
How many push-ups was that?
I think
that
was about,
motorcycle sounded sweet.
Yeah, there's a bunch of haters out there. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, you know what's weird? I didn't know you guys were broadcasting from the moon.
That's my producer, Big Sean. You know, he on the boards. You know, he's poking fun at me in the motorcycle incident. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. Hey, Tony. Tony, you there with me?
I am. I'm here.
All right. I want to ask you a question. All right, and I want to take it for a serious turn. And you know, I feel as though that I can be real with you and that I'm going to get a real answer. When it comes to fitness, some interviews that you may do, a lot of people may interview you as, you know, kind of like in a gimmicky type of way. And when it comes to fitness and selling any type of fitness product, there's always a gimmick associated with that product. You are the real deal, and we know that. I have people who've tried your product both at work and in my personal life. They've used P90X. I've seen the results that they've gotten from it. You travel, you put on the workout just so many times throughout the course of a year. But what I want to know is this right here. From the people that don't get it, the people who just seem to just think it's fake and it's phony, do you ever have a problem being known as just the pitch man for P90X?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of folks out there that like to spend a lot of their time, getting down on people that are successful. Because typically, I think a lot of folks in life have experiences that turn out to be worse than anticipated. Folks have expectations, and those expectations are dashed because they bought into something that had a lot of advertising, a lot of media, maybe some celebrity attached, and it really didn't turn out to be what they expected. And at the same time, maybe it was a decent product, but they were challenged in a way that they just couldn't step up. So unfortunately, a lot of folks over the course of years end up, I don't want to say haters, but they end up, they're finger pointers, and they're always trying to look for the negative, and their glass is half empty, and they're that kind of a person. And every once in a while, I've read the criticism. I try to avoid it, but Tony's a pitch man. He dyes his hair. They're always trying to find some crap about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I fine. Look, the numbers are proof positive that I'm doing a lot more good for a lot more people who understand what it takes to get healthy and fit. And you're going to have a certain amount of people. Like I'll not on this show. Obviously, you guys get it. We have a great time on our show. But I'll get on some show where they're looking for the angle. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're looking for they're trying to pin you down and prove that you're something other than you say. And and I just think, hey, look, man. I don't know what angle you're coming from. I don't know what you're trying to prove. All I can tell you is what I do is based on a life of experience, and we're helping a lot of people, and it's not for everybody. I'm not saying that it is. Some people think I'm obnoxious and I'm a clown and that my jokes aren't funny, and that's, everybody doesn't have the same sense of humor. I understand that.
Right.
But what I do is real and authentic and honest, and if it taps into a lot of people, great. And if there's certain people who don't like me, well, then go buy something else or do something. Go get TRX or do some other program if you don't like mine. But and if you want to bust my chops in the process, I don't care. Whatever. If that makes you feel good, if that gives you your 15 minutes of fame, you gave Tony Horton a hard time. Yeehaw. You know what I mean? In the scheme of things, from 65,000 feet, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. All right, so now that we got that answer out the way.
Yeah, Bricks, way to really bring it down.
Well, see, Tony, because the reason that I asked that question, right, when people hear you on FTNS and they know you're coming on the Body Shop, they always say, I can't wait to hear the on-air banter between you and Tony and see what's next. So they tune in to have a great time, and they always walk away with more information and more knowledge of you and the product.
Well, it's not just that, though.
Right.
It's a combination, too, of our listeners are also the people who are seriously into fitness.
Exactly.
And a lot of these people want to try to do something, whether it's become a personal trainer or start a Facebook fan page, and somebody will knock them down and say something about them, and then they get all bent out of shape about it, and it's just like it wrecks them.
Right.
Yeah, that's certainly not the place where you want to put your time and energy, right? If you think you're going to find success and glory and fame and a financial gain by knocking somebody else down, well, that might work temporarily. You might get a few fans who go, "Yeah, you're right. That Tony Horton's a hack," or whatever. But honestly, I think if you're really going to be successful in this business, if you are a trainer, if you want to create your own fan page, then you've got to be open-minded. You cannot be myopic when it comes to your fitness philosophy. P90X works. P90X is successful because there's yoga in there, man. You're doing 24 sets of chest and back on one day, and the next day you're doing yoga, and then you're doing Kempo, then you're doing plyo. That's why it works, because it forces you to work on your weaknesses, not your strengths.
Exactly.
Bodybuilding is awesome. That's how I started. I went to the gym and I hung out in there for an hour and 45 minutes and worked my chest, which was what I thought I needed when I was in my 20s. And a lot of guys in their 20s who are competing and who are trying to meet girls, and they want to look good. It's all about looking good.
Right.
You're still going to feel good too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But your core strength might not be as good as it can be. Your leg power and explosiveness might not be as athletic as it could be. Your flexibility might be crap. break. I had a weird cough there. Haters. Hater. I'm a lover, man. It's all in play. It's all, because we're giving the audience some fun stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But you got to think about the future. So many people are training for, next weekend. They're training for how they want to look this summer.
Right.
And you've got to pretend that, not pretend, but you've got to understand that the future is now, man. And you got to train as if, you're going to be planning for the future. So I'm 53, and I want to feel this good and be this flexible and be this strong when I'm 63. So I'm going to continue to do the things that I love, the things that bring me back. But I'm also going to go to a floor Pilates class where I'm going to look like a clown. You know what I mean? Because I understand the importance of going into that Pilates class and having some girl half my size be 10 times better at stuff I've never seen before. That's how I grow. That's how I change.
Right.
That's how I improve, and that's how I beat the odds, as opposed to somebody else who just swims, who just runs, who just is working their upper body only and ignoring their legs. You've got to be out. You got to think outside your comfort zone, and you've got to perform there as well. And when you do, you got the world in the palm of your hand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tony, just a brief recap for people who, for whatever reason, may have missed the first couple of times that you was actually on the Body Shop. But and I'm not making light of this, but this type of success did not come easy to you, like right away. Can you walk us briefly through the initial steps that it took you to become the man now known as Tony Horton?
Well, the short version of the story was, I was the 98-pound weakling. I was a skinny kid, speech impediment, C- average, not a good athlete. My father was. My father did not want to push me like his father did, so I was kind of like left hanging in the wind. So all through elementary school, junior high school, I was on the high school football team, but I think the only reason why I was on the team is because they needed, players for practice so that the good players could run over. And so I was a tackling dummy, for my senior year in high school. Really, I rarely got on the field. And then I got to college and I took a weightlifting class. And the beautiful thing about this class was I liked the teacher. I looked forward to going, because before that I had coaches that were a-holes.
Okay.
Right? And then now I had a guy that was just cool and he was fun. And he said, hey, look, here's what you need to do, and it's going to take some time, and you want to write this stuff down, and here's what you're going to do on Monday, here's what you're going to do on Wednesday, here's what you're going to do on Friday. And it was for the first time I was exercising and having a good time in the process. So my synapses in my brain were connecting fun and fitness together. Right. Before it was fitness and misery, all right? Now fun and fitness was coming together. Then I moved to California, and it was in survival mode, the first couple of years, just trying to get by. And, I was a mime at the pier, and I was working retail, and I was a carpenter and a handyman and waiting tables. So my fitness went to hell in a handcart, and I was, getting up at 10:30 to have a couple Egg McMuffins and then a cheeseburger for lunch and a big old pepperoni pizza because I had no money and that food was cheap, and I didn't know better. But then shortly thereafter, I discovered that on every corner in California there's a gym, and in those gyms are really pretty women. And, so let's go get buff and fit. And so it was all about my looks. It was about looks, not about health, even though I was healthier, obviously. And then, lucky for me, I had a job where I was a PA. I was a production assistant at 20th Century Fox. And I was running around, feeding the cat, and delivering scripts, and making coffee, and doing all those kinds of things that a PA would do. And my boss just saw my transformation because I was going to these gyms and getting fit. And he said, "Hey, man, can you train me in the morning? Because you look great, and it takes off the stress, and it would help me." Anyway, he got in great shape, and he knew Tom Petty. And Tom Petty looked at him. His name was Harlan Goodman, and he said, "Hey, Harlan, you look awesome. Can I get in shape?" That's my Tom Petty impression.
I like it.
He grew up in Gainesville, Florida. He was running down a dream. He went out with an American girl. Anyway, and so and Harlan said, "Tony Horton." So of course, Tom Petty calls me. My roommate picks up the phone and says, "Hey, man, some clown's on the phone with Tom Petty." So I go, "Yeah, hey, Tom Petty, see ya." Click, the phone rings again. No, really, don't hang up. It's Tom Petty. So I went to Tom Petty's house, and at that point I was just working out, training like 2 or 3 people, training Harlan. And then I trained Tom Petty, 5 days a week for 3 months. I got him in the best shape of his life. He went on tour. He was wearing a tank top on tour. No one had ever seen that. He's doing these Bruce Springsteen-like shows. And then before you know it, it was Billy Idol, and it was Stephen Stills, and Annie Lennox, and Usher, and Ewan McGregor, and Sean Connery, and Shirley MacLaine, and you name it. I was, the lead singer in Chicago, and so I was keeping rock and roll from the 70s alive there for a while. And that's how it got going. I didn't have to wait tables anymore. I didn't have to build furniture anymore. I was getting up at 5:30 a.m. every morning and driving and training my first client in the dark, and I'd come home at 9 o'clock at night. And I did that for years.
Right.
But I had my own business. I had my own thing. But at the same time, I was, working on my acting career.
Right.
And so I was one of the few guys that was working on, performing and also training people, working them out. And so those two things came together to be what I am today. Because you get a lot of folks that are brilliant when it comes to fitness, but they're not great on camera. They don't know how to read a teleprompter.
Right.
They don't know how to tell a joke.
Right.
And then you've got folks that are actors, paid people who can read a teleprompter, but they don't know the first thing about kinesiology or exercise science, and they look like little skinny dweebs. So I was able to be those two things. And then I met Carl Deichler in 1998, end of 98, and we did this little product called Great Body Guaranteed, and it sold, and we sold it in short form infomercial, like at 3 o'clock in the morning in Poughkeepsie, New York, Miami, Florida, and Anchorage, Alaska, and whatever. We rolled the dice, and we'd spend $5,000, like all the money we had, all the money he had, and it sold. And then from Great Body Guaranteed came Power 90, and then Power Half Hour, and then of course P90X, P90X Plus, and now P90X2 and 10-Minute Trainer. And now we're at a place now, and I'm not bragging, but we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a week on media for P90X and 10-Minute Trainer. And, we're on, you can flip channels this time of year, and I'm on 5-6 channels at a pop. So, it took from 1998 till now to have the success that I've had with Beachbody and the products that we created together. But it was another 25 years before that, living in a 3-bedroom rent control apartment, looking at a convalescent home with 2 broken-down cars. And the only reason why I had 2 cars because, when one was busted, you needed another one, and they were constantly back and forth in the shop, and a lot of months, I was scraping together money to pay my bills and to pay rent and keep the cars going.
Right.
And so, the thing is, follow your passion, man. Maintain your sense of humor. What are you doing different than anybody else out there? Don't stick to something. Everything I've done, everything I've created, I've begged, borrowed, and stolen from other people. And added my little Hortonism to it. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at a push-up's a push-up, but a push-up sidearm crunch, with a goofy face, no one's done that.
With a goofy face. With a goofy face. Tony, were there any stars that you met that you kind of made you like starstruck when you first met any of these people?
Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics, man. I mean, because I used to listen to the Eurythmics, so they were one of my favorite bands in the 80s. And I was just so nervous to meet her because, she's beautiful and she's super talented. But, you hang out with her a couple of days and you realize, oh, she just followed her passion. Right. And she took lessons as a kid singing, and she was very reluctant. Her parents made her do classical music, and you hear her story, you're hanging out with her, and you realize, oh, she's no different than anybody else. She just happened to get famous. Fame is the thing. Fame is fake. People think fame is important. I mean, look at the celebrities out there. They don't do anything. I mean, like Paris Hilton. What the hell has she ever done?
Right.
She had rich parents, and she's kind of cute, but it's nothing special. But people, oh, it's Paris Hilton. Who cares? Or the Kardashians. What the heck is that about?
Oh, you don't want to know how she got famous. This is a family show, so we can't talk about that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's funny. I mean, fame truly is fake. But when you meet somebody, a true artist.
Right.
I mean, when I met Petty, Tom Petty, holy cow. I mean, the guy's a rock icon. He's been around it forever. Bruce Springsteen. I mean, the first time I trained Bruce Springsteen, I was really nervous. This is the boss, and he already had a really good trainer, and he was pretty fit. But I had the guts to say, it was like he had his little booklet, his workout booklet, right, and it was covered in blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, he just clutched onto this thing, and the first time I saw him, he said, "Look, today is I don't know what day it is, shoulders and arms. Today, shoulders and arms. Here's my book, and you just guide me through it." And I took the book and I looked at him and I said, "Bruce, I've been in this business a long time. How about trying some new stuff?" And it was almost like he looked at me like, "What?"
Right.
And he said, "Yeah, right. That sounds pretty good. All right, let's do something else. All right, cool." I like my Bruce, and then from that point forward, he really respected me because I didn't just run him through a routine he was used to, and I introduced him to stretching and yoga, and I was the first guy to put a heart monitor on him, and just basic things. And when you get to know Bruce, you realize, oh, now I know why you're so successful, because you're the coolest guy in the world. You know what I mean? I mean, he just is. He's all that and more. I mean, he's that great a guy in person, and that's why he's so successful.
Well, I think, are there any people that you feel like, can you feel if somebody's like a little starstruck when they first meet you?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious because they come in really intimidated. They almost come in ass first. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is they don't walk. They just kind of come in sideways, and they don't really look at you straight. They kind of look at your feet, and they say, "Hey, Tony, I don't want to bother you, but I lost 115 pounds. Anyway, thanks a lot." And I'll go, "Get over here, dude. What's your name?" And they go, "My name's Ed." Anyway, I don't want to bother you. You're not bothering me, dude. You lost 115 pounds. You and I are officially best friends.
Nice.
Whether you like it or not, I'm going to start stalking you, pal. You know what I mean? It happened to me at Salt Lake City Airport. I was going to Jackson Hole, and there was this couple sitting across from me. They were in their 60s. They weren't kids. Just sitting there quietly, not, blah, blah, blah. And, there's about 20 people ready to get on the plane, waiting for the doors to open. And this one guy comes over just like that, kind of sideways, butt end in. Anyway, Tony, I want to bother you. My wife's over there, and she's lost a bunch of weight. She loves your program. I just want to say hello. And I said, well, where's your wife? And she's over there. I look over there, and she's doing the wave off. No, why did you bother him? And I said, what's her name? He said, Cheryl. Cheryl, come over here. She's looking at me like, oh my God, Yeah. I go, well, you lost weight. Oh yeah, my husband does it. And so we start chatting, and then that left an opening for everybody else in sport, right? So another couple comes over, and then this very quiet couple in their 60s, this guy stands up and says, well, I just didn't want to bother you. I said, well, no, it's cool. We're all sitting here. We're all doing P90X. I mean, how fun. I'm 65 years old. My daughter gave me P90X, and I'm going to Jackson Hole, and I can ski things I could never ski before because I'm doing your program. I've never been fitter in my life.
Right.
You think, how awesome is that? I mean, you just have these amazing conversations. And then now we're part of a family. I mean, there's these 3 couples, including my girlfriend and I, 4 couples, and we're all talking about getting better and feeling good and changing our lives through exercise and eating well. And what would have been, total strangers who would have never connected through this one product. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this, and I'm not kidding. It's just awesome. It's awesome.
Right.
Well, speaking of awesome, all right, what we need to do is let people know, once again, where is the next time that they're going to see Tony Horton live, baby? We're talking live.
Saturday.
What I want you to do, we're going to be, are you ready? Write this down. I'm going to hold, get a pen.
Go ahead. We got the pen, Tony.
Get the pen, Toyota. President's Oakland Theater, 95 South Turnpike Road in Wallingford, Connecticut. And I want you to go to www.fitnessatlanta.com/TonyHorton.htm. That's where all the information is. We're going to do 2 workouts. It's at the Oakdale Theater on April 14th. Get a big red magic marker and mark it and be there. We've got room for 2 groups, but sign up early because I'm telling you, last year we had to turn people away, and that's a nightmare. So workouts, autographs, photographs, it's going to be fun.
Right.
Don't come in combat boots. Make sure you wear your sneakers. And you got to be 13 or older. So if you're 14, 15, 16, you can come. Bring your kids. Come on down.
Come on down to work out with Tony Horton, ladies and gentlemen, right down there. April 14, 2012 at the Oakdale Theater. That's about as best as my country accent is going to get. However,
not bad, man. Not bad.
In honor of Tony Horton being here today, right? Yeah. I'm actually going to change the closing. Right?
Really?
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want you guys to know. And this is in honor of Tony Horton. And I sincerely mean this. No excuse is good enough if you're just being plain lazy. Get up, get motivated, get moving, follow your dreams, and anything can happen. Keep God first and success will come. Hey, yo, we got to go, man. This is Bricks. I'm signing off for Tony Horton. Signing off for Brian, super producer Big Sean. We'll see you when we see you.